How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There is a massive change that just happened that I think a lot of people are missing. A massive change coming with the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. A massive change politically. And I'm going to sell some crypto in the next day. It's actually going to be a sizable chunk. I want to explain what that is and why that is. There are some caveats to it that I think is important for you to know. So if you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. I'm actually making this really early. I mean, we're talking before 4 a.m. Just to get out the door, to get ready to go to Bitcoin Nashville. Maybe let me know if you're going to be there. I'm trying to get this collar right so I don't look like an idiot, but it's a little bit early to try to get all those things perfect. If you want to trade cryptocurrency, though, if you are watching this video and you feel either very strongly for crypto or you feel like it's going to fall, I saw someone posting that they thought we were going to get down to $50,000 Bitcoin yesterday. If you want to trade crypto long or short, there's a link to Margex underneath the video. There's also a link to CoinW underneath the video. Two great platforms. You can use either of them. There are airdrops for both of them. So, I mean, get in on this while you can. There's only about 2 days left for CoinW. I think there are 4 days left. You have 4.5 days left for Margex. So definitely check out those links underneath the video. Okay, Bitcoin's price came down yesterday. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Mt. Gox distributed another 48,000 Bitcoin yesterday. So they're distributing to the exchanges. We got word that some of the exchanges are then distributing to their clients, to some of the people that actually should own the Bitcoin. So that might have caused some fear in the market. I think this is also another reason that the market fell. I mean, we had some pretty large outflows yesterday from the Bitcoin ETFs. Grayscale sold 27 million. And let's pull this one up. We had BITB with a $70 million outflow. ARCB with a $52 million outflow. So we did get some large outflows from Bitcoin ETFs mixed with the fear of Mt. Gox, mixed with some liquidations, and that caused us to fall down about $2,000. Now, what's even crazier than that is Grayscale's ETH selling almost $500 million of Ethereum. Now, why is that so crazy? Well, that is that's 5% of the trust in one day. Man, okay, that is nuts. If we had done that with GBTC, I can't remember exactly what we started with in terms of Bitcoin. I think it was around 300,000 Bitcoin. That would have been crazy. Like, that would have dropped the price of Bitcoin very fast. I believe Grayscale was maybe, I'm trying to come up with the numbers at the top of my head. I think if my quick math is right, they had around $100 billion in AUM. I mean, think about if they had just market sold $5 billion day one. I mean, they're still selling pressure, but not even like this. This is crazy that Grayscale Mini Trust buys 15 million of ETH. Okay, that doesn't really matter too much. We also have miners selling roughly 10K Bitcoin. So this is a large amount. I mean, this is just within the last week or so. Yeah, I mean, that's going to cause the price of Bitcoin to go down too. They're selling just to fund operations because a lot of them can't really pay for expenses when Bitcoin's price is around this level. So that will continue until they unplug, and then they distribute their miners to a stronger balance sheet, and then we won't have to deal with it. But it's not all problems out there. Bitwise, ETHW, bought $203 million worth of Ethereum. That's impressive. Okay, I believe Bitwise is also BITB, which, Bitwise Bitcoin ETF is BITB, and they like I said a second ago, they did have some outflows. So they had $70 million worth of outflows. I would not be surprised if some of that is finding a new home in ETHW. Now, I think some people naturally take that as bearish. Like, hey, if these Bitcoin funds are selling Bitcoin to go buy Ethereum, people are just going to think, well, that sucks. I mean, that just causes Bitcoin's price to go down. But you have to remember, this is natural. Think about it this way. I was just sitting on the couch last night thinking about this. Let's say you're someone that wants to invest in stocks. You hear how great they are, but you can never figure out how to invest in them. And then all of a sudden, you can start investing in Google stock. Okay, man, Google, or better yet, let's say Apple. Apple is an amazing company. It's performed better than just about every company in the past. It's the largest company or one of the top 2 largest companies. So it's fantastic. So you start buying. It does pretty well. It goes up 40, 50%. And then all of a sudden, you get a second stock you can buy. You can buy Amazon. It's maybe half the size, maybe a third the size. It's riskier. They're not as steady cash flows, but there's more chance for upside. Well, if those are the only 2 stocks you can buy, I can almost guarantee you that some people are going to pull from Apple and buy Amazon when that happens. And it's not because Apple's a bad company, but they want diversification. They want something that has a little bit more upside. They want to invest somewhere else, right? So they might take a third of their bag and then go put it into Amazon. I think of it very similar here. A lot of institutions have only been able to buy now 2 crypto assets. So they might sell some Bitcoin, but that's going to be a short-term headwind because eventually they're going to realize, okay, we need more capital allocated to this just in general. So we can't keep on selling our Bitcoin ETFs to go buy Ethereum. We only wanted a 10% or 30% allocation anyways. So now we can move on and keep on buying both of them. So it's just interesting. Oh, an interesting way to think about it. Eric Balcana says, I was curious how the ETH ETFs would rank in day 1 volume versus 600 or so new launches in the past 12 months, but excluding the Bitcoin ETFs. ETH-A or ETHA would be number 1 by a lot. FETH would be number 2, ETHW 5, ETH 7th, and ETHV in the 13th spot. And CETH, which was the lowest among the group, would still rank in the top 10 versus a normal new launch. So day 1, BlackRock did 250 million in volume, Fidelity 137, Bitwise 94. So overall, it was a good day. I'd still say this is a success. Just there's an overhang right now. There's an overhang with the Ethereum grayscale product, which was bound to happen. We knew that would most likely happen. At the same time, BlackRock's buying Bitcoin. They bought $72 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. Fidelity had a 0 day. So, yeah, it was a bit of a sell-off day for actually ETH ETFs and Bitcoin ETFs yesterday, but we're going to get past this. I still think things are looking positive. David Bailey says we're in talks with Kamala Harris for her to speak at the conference. This is where game theory gets very interesting. Basically, the theory of different entities fighting over finite resources. So, and that's not the exact explanation, but that's what I'm seeing right now as to what's happening. Kamala Harris probably saw that Donald Trump is making Bitcoin a significant part of his campaign. So she wants in on that too. She also sees that there are significant donations. So now she's more pro-crypto. Now, I don't think she would be going to the conference just to rag on Bitcoin or to basically say nothing. Obviously, she's going to probably show some support for Bitcoin and be a little bit more pro-crypto than the current president. Otherwise, what would be the point? So now we have two pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin candidates that are, trying to get power. I think this is only good for Bitcoin. I don't think this was priced in yesterday, but I do think this is good for Bitcoin. And as Dylan LeClaire says, the only option now for Trump is to double down. Okay, that's powerful stuff. That's interesting. Maybe he does double down. We'll know in the next few days when he gives his speech at Bitcoin Nashville. Keep in mind, the whole crypto market, while it looks red today, it's really not that bad. Let me just reload this. Bitcoin sitting around 66.3 right now. It's down 0.5%. Keep in mind, there are other companies that go through more volatility than this. Google just announced good earnings. They double beat. They beat on earnings and revenue. They beat on cloud revenue, I believe, too. The expectations were lower than what they hit. 29% year-over-year growth in cloud revenue. And yet, right now, the stock is down. It's down about 2% after hours. So, there are companies that still fall down. Revenue for the overall business is still up 13.5%. So there are companies that fall down even after good earnings. There can be good days in the crypto market where the prices of cryptocurrency still fall down. Now, I am going to sell probably today. I wanted to sell this yesterday. Now, stay through so you understand what I'm saying. I am selling some of my Ethereum for one of these Ethereum trusts. Okay, I know it sounds bad at first, and then you're like, okay, well, it's basically the same thing. Now, some people might be asking why I would do that, right? There are a couple different reasons. One, diversification. If there's ever an issue with my cold storage, which there shouldn't be. That's the whole point of it. But if there is an issue, if for some reason multiple events go on, then I at least have my crypto somewhere else that can't be really messed with. Of course, there could be something where, BlackRock gets hacked or something, but I think they would make that whole. So that's one reason. There are more reasons though. One, it's more easily accessible. Let's say I'm going to Bitcoin Nashville and I'm going to be away from cold storage for 3 or 4 days. It would be nice to have something available at least during trading hours. So if I wanted to sell or if I want to take profits or something, I can do that. That is nice. Also, there's something to be said for potential staking opportunities, for potential lending opportunities, and I think that's all easier within a brokerage account. The lending is easier within a brokerage account. I think staking also may be slightly easier once they allow that, because I think that is coming at some point. And yeah, it's just nice to have diversification. Just like if you have a lot of crypto, you might put it across multiple wallets. I think it makes sense to put some into a brokerage account. Now, that's just my opinion. I could always be wrong. Let's say also, well, no, I'm not even going to go there. But I think there's something to be said for that diversification. Let me know your thoughts on this. Be careful too. I did a transaction to send the ETH, and I used the estimated gas. The platform I used would not let me add gas either. This seems like a beginner mistake for someone that's been in crypto for 4 years. I didn't increase the gas tax. I didn't increase how much I was putting out there. The transaction took like 10 hours. So be careful. That's one other thing. I'm glad that happened now, because if that happened during a bull run when I'm really trying to get out and I just use the estimated tax that's wrong, or the estimated gas, that would be very frustrating. It'd be stressful. It was a little bit stressful yesterday, even though I knew it was fine. I just didn't know how long the transaction would take. So keep that in mind when you're doing transactions too. It seems so easy, but it's such a stupid thing that happened. And again, I couldn't add more gas based on the platform that I was on. It just kept on saying insufficient funds, even when there's more than enough to add to it. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, though. It seems like there have been some massive changes, again, politically in the last 24 hours from Kamala Harris, and we don't know for sure if she's going to Bitcoin Nashville. I saw a couple people saying she was, a couple people saying they're still in talks. So I'm not sure, I'm not certain, but it does seem like she's at least entertaining it. Also, let me know your thoughts on the ETH launches and the Bitcoin funds on day one of ETH and my trade. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. To be clear too, I'm buying the ETH ETFs at the same time I'm selling ETH, so there should be no difference in price. I'm actually going to use the cost basis of one of the higher transactions that was actually slightly above the price that we're at right now too. So I don't have to worry about taxes. That's something to take into account though too. If you want to trade crypto, there are the links underneath the video to Gox and CoinW. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.